MrBeast, also known as Jimmy Donaldson, has built his reputation on doing things that nobody else on YouTube dares to attempt. While most creators are happy to spend a few $1,000s on a video, Jimmy is the type of person who casually drops millions in the span of a few weeks. Whether it's giving away cars, buying a neighborhood, or even losing a fortune in the simplest game of rock, paper, scissors. Over the years, he has acquired, built, or destroyed some of the most outrageously expensive possessions imaginable. And the stories behind them are just as insane as the numbers attached. One of the wildest examples of his spending habits involves his obsession with military tanks. In one video, he brought in not just one, but 5 tanks, each fully operational and worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Altogether, they set him back well over $1.5 million. These weren't just props either. They were used to fire at giant piles of money, proving that Jimmy isn't afraid to spend fortunes just to create jaw-dropping content. What's even funnier is that his fascination with tanks didn't suddenly appear. Years before, he was already driving one around town and even using it as a sort of Uber, picking up unsuspecting passengers and giving them rides. Most YouTubers dream of owning flashy cars. Jimmy, on the other hand, casually collects real tanks. But tanks are just the beginning. At one point, Jimmy decided to bring the digital world into reality by constructing a full-scale Minecraft village. This wasn't some small build either. His team worked for over 2 months to create 6 functional houses, scatter hay bales around the area, and erect a massive creeper statue in the center. The punchline? The creeper wasn't just for show, it was packed with explosives, and the plan was to level the entire town in one enormous blast. Jimmy spent over $200,000 just to build the village, knowing from the start that it would all be reduced to rubble in front of millions of viewers. Later, he even went on to build a human-sized Minecraft Steve before blowing everything sky high. It's hard to wrap your head around how someone could spend that much time and money on something designed solely for destruction. But for MrBeast, that's all part of the fun. As wild as a Minecraft village might sound, it pales in comparison to the unique house he once received. Another YouTuber named Zach bought a home and spent an entire week customizing every inch of it specifically for Jimmy. This wasn't a simple paint job either. It turned into a giant art project filled with massive murals of Shrek, recreations of MrBeast thumbnails, and even portraits of Jimmy himself. The kitchen was redecorated with his signature colors, and custom furniture was made just to match the theme. By the end, the house was so unusual that it became one of the most distinctive homes in the country. The whole customization cost around $400,000, but instead of keeping it, Jimmy ended up giving it away to a random subscriber. Whoever lives there today is probably surrounded by walls of artwork depicting one of the world's most famous YouTubers, a surreal and hilarious living arrangement. If houses and tanks aren't big enough, private jets certainly are. In 2022, Jimmy purchased not 1, not 2, but 3 jets, each costing about $2.5 million. That's $7.5 million in total. But instead of using them the way most wealthy people would, he turned each into part of his content. The first was intentionally crashed for a video, instantly becoming one of the most expensive items he has ever destroyed. The second was used as the prize for a contest where 10 YouTubers competed to see who could keep their hand on the jet the longest. After hours of grueling endurance, the winner was Harry, also known as W2S. Rather than keeping the plane, Harry gave it to his younger brother. However, things didn't go smoothly afterward. The jet was sold immediately, and after taxes in both the US and the UK, the brothers were left with only about $1.4 million, far less than the $2.5 million value. This sparked controversy online, with some people accusing Jimmy of being misleading or unfair. The backlash grew so large that Jimmy even had to explain publicly that taxes inevitably reduced the winnings, but that he had still given away something incredibly valuable. Despite the drama, it became one of the most talked about giveaways in his career. The third jet remains in Jimmy's possession today, and he has used it to travel the globe to countries like Japan, India, and even Antarctica. Ironically, the main reason he decided to keep it was not luxury, but privacy. Jimmy revealed that during one trip, after being recognized in an airport, he was mobbed by hundreds of fans who followed him to his hotel. Since then, he has relied on the jet to avoid chaotic situations like that. For a man who thrives on breaking records, his YouTube play button collection is another showcase of excess. Most creators are thrilled just to receive a single silver or gold play button, but Jimmy owns dozens upon dozens thanks to his sprawling empire of international and secondary channels. And along with the 5 diamond play buttons he has earned for surpassing 10 million subscribers multiple times, he also owns over 40 silver buttons and around 15 gold ones. YouTube even awarded him a custom ruby play button when he passed 100 million subscribers, and more recently, he received a gigantic 200 million play button emblazoned with his logo. The combined value of the collection is estimated at over $1 million, but for Jimmy, the sentimental worth far exceeds the price tag. Still, material possessions aren't limited to awards and jets. When his likeness was added to Fortnite, Jimmy celebrated by commissioning a real, drivable Fortnite battle bus. The vehicle was fully customized both inside and out, making it a one-of-a-kind collector's piece. Remarkably, the bus even allows him to play Fortnite inside it. While the base vehicle itself cost over $100,000, the level of customization surely pushed the value far higher. It's an absurd but fitting tribute to his gaming presence and his ever-growing partnership with pop culture phenomena. Cars are another major theme in his life, even though Jimmy himself rarely drives. His collection includes at least 10 Lamborghinis, numerous Teslas, and dozens of other vehicles, adding up to around $5.6 million in value. What's peculiar is that Jimmy is hardly ever seen behind the wheel. In fact, even when he was once pulled over while in his Tesla, he admitted he wasn't the one driving. His reasoning is that being recognized in traffic could lead to dangerous situations, which is ironic given that one of his scariest moments happened in a car. During one trip, the driver actually collapsed mid-ride, and Jimmy recalled fearing for his life before the man recovered. Among his most unusual possessions is a glass coffin, which cost him over $250,000 to create. Built with some of the strongest materials available, it was designed to keep him safe while being buried underground for 50 hours. To prepare, he even slept in it inside his garage to test its durability. Later, he took things further by commissioning an even larger, more advanced coffin with cameras and extra space, allowing him to spend an entire week underground. This custom creation reportedly cost close to $1 million, but when your life depends on it, safety comes first. And then there's his real estate empire. Beyond his $70 million studio, which houses some of the most expensive gaming setups in the world, Jimmy purchased an entire neighborhood for around $50 million. Nicknamed Beastlandia, the community consists of hundreds of homes that he provides to his employees, allowing them to live close to the studio and avoid long commutes. It's less a workplace perk and more of a lifestyle transformation, essentially creating a private city for his team. And finally, the most absurd story of all. Jimmy once lost $1 million in a simple game of rock, paper, scissors. After jokingly messaging a fan on Twitter, he actually followed through when the fan won and wired him the money. The winner, known online as Dinosaur1969, posted about it, and the tweet went viral with millions of views. People were stunned that Jimmy would casually give away that much money over something so trivial, but it perfectly encapsulates the kind of over-the-top generosity that has made him a legend. From tanks and jets to trains, roller coasters, and even coffins, MrBeast has proven time and again that no expense is too great when it comes to creating content that shocks and entertains. Some of his purchases are practical, others are purely for fun, and many are completely destroyed within hours of being bought. But whether he's blowing up a Minecraft village or handing $1 million to a random fan, Jimmy continues to push the boundaries of what it means to be a YouTuber. His story is a mix of generosity, insanity, and pure spectacle, making him one of the most fascinating figures on the internet today.